Joining us is James Lucier. He's managing director at Capital Alpha Partners. James, your notes have been a joy to read over the past couple of weeks because they sum up the chaos we all feel. You say, looks like it's advancing, but maybe it's not advancing. So I've described the state of play this afternoon as you see it.
Kelly, I have been watching this show for 30 years, and I've never seen it this crazy. It's a circus like no big top that has ever unfolded on Capitol Hill. The House Freedom Caucus has basically called a timeout. The process of passing this bill is stopped, even though the Rules Committee is still trying to determine what the bill is. And about 10 minutes ago, the White House sent a letter to Capitol Hill, a scary letter from OMB called a Statement of Administration Policy, which says the president wants you to pass this bill as is right now or else. So it's a great show.
Wow. Okay. You have some great context around the House version of this bill contra the Senate version. And it sounds like you and maybe many business owners and so forth were kind of hoping for the Senate version, but we're not going to get that. Can you just kind of break that down a little bit?
Yeah, this is very important because the House bill has serious budget constraints, especially on the corporate tax provisions, which are most important to the public companies which trade on the New York exchanges. So we'd be talking about things like permanent bonus depreciation, a permanent interest expense deduction, a permanent R&D expensing, and various other things that are really essential to these companies. But those are all cut short because of the budgetary rules on the House side. We've been assuming that the Senate will come in and make these things permanent. We've also been assuming that the Senate would come back and restore some of the cuts in the IRA tax credits. But the fact is that if the House can't accept anything other than some deal that doesn't exist yet, it's going to be very hard to get a Senate fix done. It may be the House bill or nothing.
And maybe that's fine if you're the president. So as we showed, maybe it's 5 years of those business deductions instead of 10, or maybe it's less of an extension on some of the clean energy stuff and the costly issues. There's a point of view where it's like, well, but all of that stuff would be expensive. So the House bill waters it down. But that's kind of where the public is, I guess.
Yeah, the House bill, literally the promotional materials from the Ways and Means Committee describe this bill as a bill for flyover country. There's a lot of family-oriented, rural-oriented, farm-oriented, small business provisions in there. And they cost a lot of money, which is one of the reasons why we've got budget pressure on this bill. I'm not saying these are bad things. But when you take a budgetary framework where the total amount of tax relief you have is only a mere $4 trillion, it means you can't do a lot of stuff that the corporate community would like to see done. You take what you can get, of course, but a Senate bill without such a strict budget, maybe 4.5, maybe 4.7, even 5 trillion total for the tax relief, would be able to fit more of the corporate wish list in as well, even though there remains the question of how you'd pay for this.